Welcome to Get In Podcast, where we explore the human body and the experience of living fully in this body that has a mind, emotion, spirit. Could be messy business, but we know how to do it here at NIA. I'm your host, Debbie Rosas, founder and creator of the NIA Technique. It's an international body and life movement art, workout, practice, and lifestyle. It's been transforming people's lives since 1983. Helping people not only deal with pain and trauma, but really develop what we call holistic transformation. Body, mind, emotion, and spirit. Getting a sense of coherence. All of those parts creating a better whole. Every now and then, on the podcast, I get to do something that I feel is extremely meaningful. Today is one of those days. Since 2008, we've had something that we call the NIA Spirit Awards. And this is our way, my way, of honoring what I call extraordinary people within the NIA community. People whose presence, practice, and purpose enrich their lives and the lives of everyone around them through who they are as unique individuals, but also how they practice NIA and integrate it into their lives. Now, these awards, they don't measure class attendance, years that anybody's done anything, or numbers on a spreadsheet at all. They recognize something much deeper, something rare. The quality of a person's embodiment of feeling great, of living well, embodying knowledge and skill to do exactly that. The way they live NIA, the way it has impacted their lives, the healing that they carry, the conditioning that they carry from practicing NIA in their body and life, how it has touched their relationship, their community, and their NIA movement art, how they have helped other people change by just looking at them. They can feel, they can see. They're elevated simply by being in the presence of these people. Good stuff, right? Good people. This year's Spirit of NIA 2025 winners remind us of what it truly is. When someone integrates NIA into their life, lives the body's way with courage, generosity, and here's that, an open heart, and also an open mind into possibility. I'm celebrating one of those winners today, Laurie Bass. Now, Laurie Bass stepped into her first NIA class, I think, we'll find out for sure, but I think it was 1999. She was looking for something that felt good, something that would stir her spirit as much as her body. I get it because she's got a great spirit. When she found NIA, she found a practice that changed her life from the inside out. Healing from chronic pain she was living with, rediscovering vibrant energy, and learning to listen to her bodies that she never had before. And as an athlete, you'd think that she was listening to her body. We're going to hear more. The transformation inspired her to leave her previous career, become a licensed NIA teacher, and in 2011, we were lucky enough to have Laurie join the NIA training faculty. She now trains people in the 6 different unique courses, all part of the whole of NIA, guides people just like herself on a personal journey, which can turn into a professional path as well. It's an honor to celebrate Laurie Bass as our Trainer of the Year. Laurie, thank you so much for joining me. What's it like to have all those accolades?
Well, I'm just tingling from all the accolades. I'm kinda internally a shy person. And I have to say that the jazz of Nia has really brought forth my personality, so I'm going to accept everything that you've just shared about me.
Awesome.
Yeah, everything from the inside out. I absolutely love Nia. I love this practice. I love everything that you have instilled me with in order to embody my body at a much deeper level from becoming my own healer instead of looking for an outside source to heal me, to really tune in to that sense of, you said vibrancy, vitality at a cellular level, to notice what nourished that and then also what maybe diminished that and to move away from that. That was one of the biggest gifts that I learned early on with Nia. So thank you
Well,
for that.
I've watched you integrate Nia into your life for many, many years. And I know this has been a tough year, losing your buddy and partner, Fred Bass, who we celebrate, because I know you're in the space that you used to share with him right now. Take us back to 1999. What was happening in your life at that point when you walked into class? And I want to know, were you looking for something or did you have an aha where you had no idea that you needed something?
I had no idea that I needed something. However, one of my best friends who was a mover, a belly dancer, and massage therapist, she said, "You have got to come to this class, this dance class." I said, "Dance? I don't dance other than, school dances or our wedding dances." But I love music and to dance, and she drew me in, and it literally was from that first moment I saw the teacher walk across the move in her body and just emanating joy and vitality. I thought, I want that. I've lost that. I need to get me some of that. That was what was happening, along with being out a very stressed out business owner, which I'm sure many people can relate to.
I think stress goes with business and life today, just hands down, right? Hands down.
Absolutely.
Um, did you have a sense of dissatisfaction with movement that you had been using to stay fit and healthy?
Yeah, I did repetitive movement. I was cycling. I was bored out of my mind on the treadmill, knowing that, okay, I need to walk. I only have this much time. I better get at it, right? So it was a have to instead of a want to or a get
Okay.
to. And so that was a huge shift for me in terms of finding the joy of movement, the joy of being fit. I always prioritized fitness, but I didn't necessarily enjoy what I was doing. And
That's a
weightlifting,
great
yeah,
distinction. I have to versus I can't wait to. And, that is something I hear NIA students say all the time. Oh, I get to go to NIA. I can't wait to go to NIA. Versus I have to go work out, right? That's a really good distinction. You said that NIA helped you with chronic pain. That's a big thing that a lot of people deal with. We know that in any prescription, you're always going to see you need to move, right? But what was the pain that you were dealing with, and what shifted? Because this is a body story of physical healing through Nia.
yeah, absolutely. Uh, I had a couple areas of chronic pain from my athletic days. I had a knee surgery 10 years beforehand, approximately, and it never really had the mobility, I suppose, or the full range of motion from that. And then a shoulder injury where I actually dislocated my shoulder and had surgery, and discovered NIA about a year and a half post-surgery. And it was through understanding the way to use my hands and my arms that I was able to get my full range of motion back from that. And then in my life profession at that point in time, I owned a coffee store, especially retail, and would, mochas and frappuccinos, and an injury led to chronic pain, chronic fatigue, and complete for chronic fatigue in terms of my adrenals were completely shot at that time. So I had pain in my hands, down my forearms, limited range of motion, foot pain, you name it. It was happening in that realm of, the connective tissue, which I didn't know about at that time, but now having studied connective tissue and the inflammation that occurs with the tension that happens, I was able through movement to release that tension. Yeah.
When I hear you say, I learned how to use my hands and arms, and I go, wait a minute, weren't you a basketball player? Don't they teach you how to use your hands and arms? So I think what you're doing is really speaking to athletes out there. who train to do a specific skill, and overuse injury is so common. So, how do we um, stay healthy? And one of the ways I know, because we've had lots of athletes come through NIA, we have Olympic athletes on our training faculty, that the movement diversity and the body's way anatomy education that is shared does exactly that, as you say, training, how to use hands and arms. Um, Nia as a sensation-based practice, for somebody who is going, "What? Sensation-based practice?" Can you describe a little bit of what that aha wake up was for you in terms of connecting sensation to what am I doing with my body for healing?
Yeah, for healing, the aha wake up was really tuning in instead of tuning from the surface. Prior to that, it was always about being strong from the outside in, if that makes sense. And that was with the repetition and heavy weights we're building strength versus sensing when, okay, that's enough. That's it's starting to damage instead of constructively build strength like that. So I was able to really fine tune sensation and learn that it was the feel good sensations
Yeah.
that right? It was the feel good that really expanded my level of fitness versus no pain, no gain, which is what I was brought up on playing basketball, absolutely going beyond my my physical limitations versus listening to where I was and maybe doing just a little bit less in order to make gains that way.
Yeah, I know myself as a runner, I never had an injury in running, and I think why was because no matter I would put my shoes on, there were times I'd get right out to the end of the driveway and my body would go, "No, not today." And I'd go, "Okay." Even though my calendar may say you're gonna do 3 miles today, you're gonna it was like, nope, my body leads, right? My
Really.
brain has to follow that. Um, at some point for me, and I'm gonna ask the same for you, Nia stopped being something that I just did, and it really became something that I am. Did that shift happen for you? As an identity shift, I guess I would say, so that the meaning, doing something for meaning and purposeful in one's life, for me, that was a big, big shift. And I think it's why I've continued to stay working and developing me over the past 40 years. I understand the drive, the meaning of what's personal in it for me and how that transfers over into professional.
Stepping into my white belt in 2003, that was the big shift for me in finding meaning. I knew there was something deeper. I was sensing the joy of movement in my classes, but I wanted to understand my body more, and which is what I received from the training, and then being able to take it deeper and deeper and deeper into the practice was huge.
Yeah, just we sell our product, right, Nia? A workout, a practice, right? Depth that you're talking about, and then a lifestyle. That's that shift of identity from, I'm just doing Nia to it is now just an expression of who I am. It is nourishment, just like good food, good sleep, drinking water, and then there's my Nia. You've been a licensed Nia technique teacher for many years. That's not a small thing. And what was it as a Nia white belt where you went, "I wanna learn to teach this?" What was it?
I think it was stepping in. I didn't have that aspiration to teach. It was to learn about the body, self-healing, and the Nia tools,
Mm.
and how I could apply that deeper into my body and and to create that Nia lifestyle that I desired, that dancing through life lifestyle. And I think it was the second to the last day, so the 6th day as we were talking about how to learn new routines, right? Oh, I'm like, "Oh, so there is a formula to this." There are moves to this, right? Once I understood that there was a technique, there was a relationship to the body and its design that you so brilliantly presented, and then the steps to learning, the body of work and listening to music. So once I had that just clicked for me. I thought, "Oh, I could do this. I got this."
Yeah.
Like, I can see myself doing this for the rest of my life.
Yeah, I think for many people that come to the NIA training and, we say, do you intend to teach? Do you want to? No, 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 no. And then, you know, 4th, 5th day, somebody's like, I think I can do this. And that is such a great measure of a method, a developmental learning style that basically creates a doorway that anybody could step in at any level and find their way to using the work personally, but also if they desire to teach the work professionally. Now, what was your first class like that you taught? Because anybody out there thinking, "Gee, maybe I would like to teach this." What was it like?
Well, I had sort of 2 experiences of my first time teaching. My very first time was doing an intro to Nia workshop and teaching people the moves to the very first routine that I had learned. So first telling them about Nia and then doing some moves to the first song and then dancing the first song. So that was my intro was as I was learning myself, I was teaching other people what I was learning. And then my other first real class experience was at, this upscale gym in Hillsborough, and I stepped in, and fortunately, all the students who I'd been taking classes from, they came, and then they continued to come, so I was like, "Phew, thank goodness they're here." But I also remember going, "Okay, now what? Now I got the move, there's the music, but then now what? What do I say or what do I do to layer onto that?" And that's really where the true art of teaching came into play, and then dropping into the practices from the white belt, starting to add the language of joy as I'm teaching, to add the language of personalizing and showing different levels. So just having those 2 things, that was enough to power me through my first class.
Well, this award, Trainer of the Year, it moves beyond just teaching classes and giving people an experience of NIA through what we call a workout, a 60-minute class, right? Where we have 7 cycles, right, in the NIA class. And then we have music, fabulous eclectic music, and then movement, choreography that is blending some structured choreography and also unstructured. But what's unique about the trainer is how they make that shift from I'm teaching my students and we're going to have a great workout to now sharing exactly what you said when I said, "What were what did you come to the training for?" And you said, "I wanted to learn the NIA tools and techniques. I wanted how does this happen? How can I take care of my body?" And I think that is what's so beautiful about the NIA training faculty is that and NIA teachers, I say they're self-chosen. They experience the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual changes
Mhm.
personally and get so excited about the benefits that then they want to share that. But the only way to share that is to study the principles, to study the 52 moves, and to be able to explain in a way that's user friendly for people. So they get to that 6th day like you did and say, I think I can do this. So your teaching life shifted into your training life. What is it like as a trainer to change people's lives?
Uh, it is so rewarding and satisfying to give them the tools, to empower them with the tools, to connect themselves, to build their confidence, to heal, for them to become their own healers. And and to set that healing tone as they start to create communities. It's just an incredible feeling and sensation. I'm deeply honored. Thank you.
Do you have, one story? No names, but just one story of, "Oh my gosh, I had this student and"
Well, it's rewarding seeing the growth from one year to the next year, or maybe it's if it's a student from 1 month to 2 months to 3 months to 4 months in their movement confidence, and also just in the color of their skin, their vitality and aliveness. It's like they go to a spa, right, for an hour. It's incredible. And then those who step in and train, it's just an accelerated path to personal growth, to really, deepening into who they are and who they're meant to become on this planet. It's incredible. And there are people going, I don't know if that person's going to get on the beat or not, and then suddenly they're on it, and they're in it, and the tools are there. So it's been incredible.
I think the lesson that you share, and this is what makes you an outstanding trainer and, um, is your ability to wait, to be patient, to hold the space, and in the back of your mind, you carry that seed. Everybody can get it. Everybody will get it if you just hold the space and help them build confidence in their own way and in their own time. And this is part of the Neo philosophy. Everything is rooted in the body's way, its design and function, but every individual is unique. No two people learn in the same way. And I think, you're 20, what is it, 26 years of Nia? And now having uh, a, a knowledge and skill to train people in 6 of the different Nia programs, all of that informs how you're able to communicate, how you're able to be resilient in what you give and what you hold back, and how elegantly you use what we call speakinia. And you have all those tools, and boy, that's a lot of tools, right? But they come out as coaching to help somebody develop any of those 3 important sense of coherence skills. And I've watched you do this. You're looking out and you go, "Do they understand what I've said?" And then looking out, "Can they manage it?" And then meaning, helping people understand, why are you doing this? And this is where embodiment, personal embodiment, which we believe so much in, comes through. Helping people in the moment, we say in Nia, know thyself, right? Get a little bit more. You've received this award because of who you are. What would you say to your younger self now, looking back where you are now? What would you have said to your younger Nia self?
Oh, you've got this. 100%. You're going to change the world. You're going to travel the world, and you're going to impact people's lives like you have no idea. From one little seed, they're going to grow and they're going to plant their own seeds. It's going to be incredible. So hang on for that ride. Yeah, you've got this.
You've got this. When you say you've got this, that comes from, I would imagine, developing what is so important to me in the education: trust in the genius and wisdom of your body. Because I was talking to somebody today, I said, your body is very biased because it's all about you, it's all for you. It considers your health, your safety, your well being. It is dedicated to homeostasis in your body, your fitness, health, and well being 100%. And to develop that relationship, which happens in Nia, and you teach people that all the time. The most important relationship you'll ever have in your life is one you have with your body. The most precious thing you own is your body. Is that, would you say, one of the most important things that Nia's taught you about being alive in the body, or is there something else that I missed?
No, that is the important thing, that relationship you have with your body, and I would say the Nia tools, it's the body's manual to understanding it.
Yeah, for somebody listening right now who might be thinking, "Gee, I'm thinking I might wanna take the Art of Sensation, white belt." Tell them right now what you bring and why they should train with you.
What do I bring? I
Yeah,
bring
what's unique about you? What are they gonna get, and why should they come with you?
I bring a playful presence and an openness, 100% acceptance. I'll train you to listen to your body first and foremost before listening to me or the room around you. I will hold the most nurturing space, and I'm here to support you on your path of growing as a person first and foremost through these amazing tools. You've got this.
Well,
Absolutely.
I wanna thank you and again celebrate you, Trainer of the Year. Your life journey, has been one like I would say most people, right? Laurie's a real person is what she was saying. I'm real. She's had ups and downs and joys and pain and sorrows and healing and career change. Um, and as she said, you don't need to rush. It's all, it's all there. Um,
I know what I'd say too. I'm waiting for you.
Yeah,
Come.
she's waiting for you. Absolutely. Well, Lori is a wife and a daughter and a teacher and a trainer and a Nia teacher and a gyrotonic teacher and a yoga teacher. I mean, breadth, depth, height, width of knowledge, an athlete. And you'll have a good time, I guarantee. To find out more about Laurie, you can go to Laurie, Laurie dot Bass, BASS, at neonow.com. You can find out more about the Nia technique and me, Debbie Rosas, at neonow.com, social media at the Nia technique. And I invite you to enjoy 2 weeks free of Nia on Demand. That's where you can go and you can experience that workout and that beautiful body and life education that Laurie and I are talking about. It's a place to experience Nia movement artistry that's what? Devoted to your brain, your body, your mind, emotion, spirit, holistic fitness, health, and well being. Basically, self care for your body and life at any age, at any stage of life. This has been Get In. It is a space to come home to your body, to your awareness, and to the intelligence that is yours. It lives inside of you. To all of you listening, thanks so much for being here. Until next time, keep listening, keep moving, keep trusting in that wisdom of your body. It's in there. Quiet down and listen. This is our time to get in, more so than ever before. I'm Debbie Rosas, and I'll see you next time.